Obviously, two very quality teams going at it. Can't wait to see how they play out here. Of course, BMG, they are coming off a victory, as we just witnessed there, over 2-0. They went 2-0 over them, so getting 3 points to start off the group stages here. Complexity, on the other hand, currently 1-1-0 with 4 points, as we see right there. So, joined by Bergrose once again. We're also coming off linking a couple of upcoming changes in the new big 3.8 patch here, coming up December 15th, as officially was announced right there. So, something to look forward to, guys. But, yeah, looking forward to also seeing how this continues now. So, all right, here we go into this game. We're already in the next tier of bands even, so let's get into it. We got the first bands of Midas, Wild Soul, Riptide, and Tremble coming out. You see Riptide Respect there from Fusin. We got Parasite and a Behemoth, Magmus and a Warbeast, Doctor coming out into that Tundra now. So that's what we're looking at. Complexity. They've been running a little bit of this Tundra lately. Like it here again.
They like it a lot against the Parasite because it shuts down one of his camps. It shuts down that right hard camp every time. So it's really strong against them. They like to run at Suicide, so that does make me think that will be Fuzzy Sloth playing the Behemoth. Or, they could swap roles, have Oscar go mid with the Tundra, but I believe that will be Oscar on Tundra and Fuzzy Sloth on the Behemoth. But, it's funny, when I think of BMG, those are the three heroes I think of them playing. Every time I see them pick those heroes, I think it's BMG because those are very BMG-esque.
Yeah, the new
running.
BMG with Tiltuk,
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely is. Yeah, no, I agree with you there for sure. Magmus, Doctor, and Baltazar. Magmus picked up, and then, Parasite. Tiltuk has been playing a lot of that as of late, so. Comfortable pickups, to say the least. Aluna thrown in there for most likely a support option, of course. Complexity does they support themselves with the Andromeda being picked up in response. And now one more pick on either side, as not much extra time has been used for this one, by the way. The team's only a couple of seconds so far. So
they're deciding on that Hellbringer, and it still surprises me that Hellbringer's been kind of making it towards the end of a lot of these drafts, either just not even being touched or just being, late banned. It's just odd to me. I think the hero's so strong and just offers so much to every team.
Final pick, see Valkyrie being right-clicked here. Speaking of BMG-like, that is something that they like to do as well. With Boxy perhaps playing that Valkyrie here. So the Valkyrie cursed, it seems like it has been a little bit. We've seen that, or has been a little bit since we have seen that. But at least the Valkyrie could be a powerful one for them to get here. You do see Complexity right-clicking a couple of heroes that. I'll just put this out there. So technically, they are able to be picked.
Yeah.
I think it was a bug with the recent patch. It actually made them eligible in tournament rules when they weren't technically supposed to be yet. So, but I believe it's made a tournament decision that they can't be picked yet. So, the Vindicator, the Forsaken Archer, Ravener are unable to.
I do think last game that I think it was Sapphires that was specking said there is no ban against it. I think Sapphire said, yeah, I did. I think Sapphire said that last game if I remember correctly. He said there is no gentleman's ban for it.
What? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
We
got
yeah. We got to figure that out then, because yeah.
I remember Sapphire saying it though. Like,
yeah.
right after you said that last game.
No, if he made that point, then yeah, I mean, he is, he's an admin, so obviously his word definitely fits. But yeah, no, I see where this is a little awkward is that was brought up last game, and I had actually pointed out to the teams that basically what I just said right there is that was my impression. Now, I'm not an admin technically, so, but it's still like I understand. Yeah, BMG, how they're confused.
Yeah, Inkland just said there are no auto bans on heroes, so
wow.
I guess even if it was an accidental put into the game, I guess it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The Vindicator carry. And I am very excited to see that, actually. Breaky, you did troll BMG.
I mean, yeah, I thought that was a rule. Like, what? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I fail.
Well, it's all right.
Okay. Well, I mean, they're saying. So, I mean, BMG is saying like it's fine, like so.
Even in passions.
Yeah. See that's where I'm a little. I don't know. This is just all sorts of.
It's weird. We're in a weird spot.
Yeah, cause it's something that. I don't want to get into it. Okay. Well, what's done is done. What's done is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just say it happened.
Yeah. No. As Inkland says, I mean, if it's eligible in it, then it's fair game. There you go.
Well,
Okay.
I guess that means we could be seeing Ravenor maybe next game as well. I mean,
That's possible. Apparently, yeah. That Forsaken Archer. I don't know if we're gonna see her, but
yeah, but I have been a very big advocate of this new Vindicator hero, and I believe when it did come out into competitive, it was going to be either an incredible mid hero or an incredible carry. The hero just offers so much, and because I have been messing around with Formless and TMM with it, the build we've been running is the Alk Bones into Dawnbringer, and it's very effective. So we could be seeing that this game, but yeah, this new Vindicator is a monster.
yeah. All right. Okay. You know what? It's moving on. Okay. So. All right. Okay. So here we are. Sorry, guys. Obviously, there's a lot of confusion going on. Okay. So it's happening here. We do got Vindicator in the game. So with that said, let's go. I mean, you were even talking about so the potential when this hero became available, and as we see here, it is now that. The potential of it. It's the rework that happened was really interesting, and I know it's we haven't seen it yet in the competitive scene. So to kind of go over that, the biggest thing that I took from this rework is one is how the ultimate now works on the whole charge system, where you now get charges based on the seconds that it's off cooldown, which then essentially could eventually make it up to what is it 4.5 second? No, it's a 5 second. It makes it 5 second total. However, you could choose to use it right away when it comes off cooldown, and it'll be what, like?
I think
is it 3 seconds?
Yeah. No, that's
no. Final chapter gains 30 charges when coming off cooldown, and once so it gains 30 charges coming off the cooldown initially, and each charge is 0.1. So yeah, it's 3 seconds. It would have to be 3 seconds. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
At level 3, at least. Okay.
Yes. So.
All right, so the point is, the longer you wait for it to be off cooldown, the longer it will be as far as the effect of it. It does also slow on top of that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the 40% movement slow, which is kind of interesting. But the disarm to me of the Sage's lore is going to be, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing the impact of.
It's so hard to deal with. I mean, luckily for BMG, they don't have that right-clicking carry other than Dr. Really. And I mean, he doesn't need to right-click, so I guess there's that benefit. But
yeah.
Either way, the hero you're going to see some true damage potential in this hero. Its one downfall is the not having an escape, but otherwise, this hero is it's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
So he is going to be at the top. No, he's at the bottom lane. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, so kind of absorbing now what's going on here. So they are running the aggressive dual lane. Him and Andromeda.
I was gonna say Tundra Bird did spot out this long lane that they were planning on running, so they just instantly dodged it from complexity side.
Okay. So yeah, speaking of that, you see Baltazar down here on that Doctor Repulsor. It looks like there we go. Vindicator is now going to port to the top lane. Yeah, realizing that things aren't working down here. So coming up top, Tundra eventually will go to the bottom lane, I'm sure. Response right here. So now it is going to be Vindicator against this Valkyrie up here. But yeah, Formless playing the Vindicator, going to show us some carry potential. You see right there that new totem coming out. is not going to be enough to help set up a kill, but some good harassment nonetheless. And so let's kind of go over so that totem, it silences, right, when you're inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Silence, and I believe it's a movement speed slow as well, and
yeah.
it's a decent movement speed slow. Level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they sent a Luna back up here. Okay, so they were... I think BMG has seen the same potential that a lot of people have, that if you give this hero free farm, he's going to win you the game. So they are putting a Luna back up here against it.
Yeah. Trying to man up against it here. So middle lane. Nope, never mind. Going to be fine there. Parasite tried to set up some kind of gank, but realized that, again, that wasn't going to happen. So, oh, no. Okay, no, that is good. Whew. Made sure my interface was good there. I thought I might not have changed it for a second, but we're good. Middle lane, a matchup here. Behemoth versus the Magnus. Magnus currently 14-0, Behemoth 15-0, so quite the back and forth battle right here. It's kind of fun seeing these heroes kind of going at it. Both play that very similar role, of course, of roaming around, being the heavy initiator and kind of set up kills with the stuns that they have earlier on in the game. So going to be in farming case here. Top lane, Aluna is in some trouble right here. You see that totem coming out, Silence being affected by it. Aluna does throw the power throw, but eventually is going to be killed right there. So Bloodlust kill in favor of Love coming out on the Andromeda. They just came off from the side and simply caught Aluna off guard right there.
Yeah, and the help from the War Beast with Battle Cry as well. So, yeah, I mean, saw right there, the Silence stopped Valkyrie from being able to cast her arrow immediately, and just kind of showing this early game potential that this Vindicator hero has, especially against a hero like Valkyrie that needs her leap to get away, or get spells off in general. And here you go, right here.
Oh, again, yeah. The disarm moving on top of that, and down it goes Valkyrie. Now you see Aluna kind of turning on a Love right there, at least with the power throw, so makes it a 1-for-1. But, yeah, the totem, again, between the Silence and the slow, it really is a strong ability. As we're noticing, I mean, especially for that laning phase presence, I mean, it really gives him some awesome kill potential, something that Vindicator never really had a lot of in the earlier game.
Yeah. The old Vindicator was kind of awkward because it was like, where do I put this thing? Where does it go? But this one just screams either a mid lane or a carry. It offers so much even early game to early gank lineups, and it works well with like a Parasite, on the same team, stuff like that. So definitely gonna be interesting to see if they get some more kills up here.
And again, as far as BMG is concerned, that obviously being a new hero, it's safe to say they've played against it in TMM games and everything, I'm sure, but whenever a hero like this kind of gets a bit of a rework, or of course a new hero in general kind of breaks down the competitive scene, it's understandable if the other team just isn't as prepared as they may be against others. And we see that again, Fusin is going to be fine here, actually survives it, and now Vindicator being turned on about the bottle charges, just enough. No, it's not enough. The final auto attack goes through, and now Andromeda trying to deal with this Valkyrie, but Andromeda's actually possibly going to be the one to fall right here, as the call the Valkyrie didn't hit, actually. And Valkyrie needing to run away. Andromeda managing to live, and he gets the turn kill onto Aluna. Valkyrie will escape. What a turn right there from Love.
That was some very lucky events there with the trees respawning, along with a good play by Love to get out of vision of the call of the Valkyrie. So, sometimes you need some luck.
Yeah, guess so. Bottom lane, Shockwave coming out, by the way. What a turn on the Dr. Repulsor. He thought he had a kill on a Tundra, understandably so, but that was Tundra's plan all along, to make him think that with Behemoth striding over. And sure enough, secures the counter kill. And the fact that Tundra lived on top of that, that's huge for Complexity, who now has a 4-2 hero kill lead. Behemoth, by the way, with that kill, 372 gold per minute here. So, seeing the Fuzzy Sloth Behemoth, it's not often we get to see it, but it's something tells me it's going to be pretty fun here. You see here on a Magnus doing some good damage. Oh my god, he's going for the eruption.
Get it off.
And yep, Doctor flying in. The tower almost kills Magnus, but it wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just didn't have his enrage up yet to get that stun off. I mean, if it would have been up, he would have been able to stop that ulti. But
yeah,
good play there by Make to know it's not up and take advantage of that.
And that was close right there. But yeah, I was wondering what his intention was there. But with Doctor flying in, that made a lot more sense there. So good job taking him out. Now you do see Vindicator. He has the ultimate here. See if it maybe comes into play. Going to chase Aluna, but the stun from Andromeda is just too far. They will go for Valkyrie instead. But now the follow-up damage isn't necessarily the best here, so ultimately are going to fall back from there. Does find Parasite off to the side, actually. Level 6 War Beast. The Kama-stun hit. They're going to get the kill. Vindicator, one auto attack away. Manages to survive, actually, as Andromeda's charging back in. Another stun in 2 seconds. I don't think he's going to be able to get in range, though. Unless Vindicator wants to make a play right here. This is so risky, though. They're living life on the edge. They're low on life, and they actually will manage to stay alive. Everyone does. This top lane, though, it's definitely making for some action here. That's for sure.
Yeah, and he does get a bottle on Vindicator, and I mean, does have some decently high mana cost spell. I mean, the Q is 120 at level 3 mana cost, so kind of building like the some doctors do. I know Balthazar likes to do that every once in a while, get a bottle, and especially Imba Boy.
Now, I will say Vindicator, when it comes to farm right now, it's not that great. 250 gold per minute right here. So Formless is definitely struggling to find some consistent, some good farm coming out here. Now, I know this hero in general, and again, he never really had like a great AoE farming tool. I don't know if this new Sage's lore is I guess it's really kind of similar as far as damage goes. So my point is, what should we expect to see on him? Maybe like a Thunderclaw even to try to enhance that farm potential, or?
At this game in particular, I'd like to see the Alk Bones, like I talked about a little bit earlier. But like Alk Bones into like the Dawnbringer is kind of the item build that I've kind of enjoyed, that I've tried myself. Have tried Thunderclaw on him. Wasn't a huge fan. Don't feel like I mean, he sits at 800 HP like right now with on red boots, so it's just he's just a little bit too squishy to kind of warrant a Thunderclaw. And yeah, I mean, you can argue that heroes like Clanks can do it, but he's also flying over cliffs and stays out of trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, Parasite can be in trouble here.
Meanwhile, middle lane getting the kill. Parasite is in trouble, and he does go down right there. Warbeast again assisting to help make that happen. He's sending the Hellhounds in, but I don't think further is going to be happening. Vindicator, he did not use his final chapter there, so he still has that to use if the opportunity calls for it. But yeah, the middle lane saw that there too. Tundra helping with Behemoth. Avalanche came out, set up a shockwave, and an easy kill ultimately on Magma. So Behemoth once again takes over the gold per minute lead here, and he's well on his way to that portal key. He's going to apply some good damage to the tower here. 1,500 gold saved up, and again, this is a Behemoth with Striders, a bottle, and a Blood Chalice here. So he's not going to be having mana issues, to say the least.
Yeah,
early on.
And this is, in my opinion, Fuzzy Sloth's signature hero. He doesn't get to play it very often because Oscar plays it so well, but... Ooh, top lane.
Get a kill up there onto a Luna, it looks like, yep.
Probably just ate an arrow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like the arrow got her, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I mean, what does it do max level? I think it's like, yeah, it does almost 500 damage right now. Or actually over 500 damage right now if it hits, so. If Andrew gets hit from a good, decent distance, he will die, but yeah, good pick there by Boxy.
Yeah. I do apologize, by the way. Oh, top lane, actually, Avalanche coming out on a Boxy. Speaking of him, and with that silence on top of that, there's no way he's getting away. That's, again, you see the totem, the slow, the silence. It really is great follow-up to those big stuns to initiate with. Like, it seems like it makes a lot of sense here. You know, obviously your ultimate in general is very good. It was already very good for that purpose, but now you throw kind of another mini ability that has that solid silence to be able to activate here. It's pretty strong. I mean, it's going to be able to follow up these Behemoths, the Tundra jumps like we saw right there. Getting some kills out of it.
Offers a lot, and the other thing we talked about, we didn't even really talk about, but if this Hellborn team gets vision on this Magma... Oh, mid lane. Just kidding.
Andrew dead.
Yeah, 4-man dove. Not going to survive that, but as I was going to say, if Vindicator happens to see this Magnus, ulting into a team fight, he just pops his R, and Magnus isn't getting his ulti off anymore. So, I mean, this Vindicator can do a lot this game, especially to a Doctor. I mean, Doctor is going Nullstone first item, though, so shouldn't bug him too much, but it can cause a little bit of problems for this Doctor as well.
This middle tower, it's going to be falling right here in favor of the Legion's side. You do see that Doctor, 416 gold per minute, farming at the bottom lane during all this. The Fissure stun coming out, but just simply to harass, I guess. I know they were trying to jump in, actually. Oscar, though, he gets caught trying to do so. And he ends up going down as a result of that. So very greedy play there from Complexity, it seemed like, trying to make a play in the middle lane. And comes up short. And actually, BMG not done just yet. They're going to go on a Behemoth in the background. Andromeda gets her combo stun off, but it doesn't matter. Down goes Behemoth. Down goes Andromeda. It's a 3-0. The tower kill on top of that. All in favor of Bad Monkey Gaming. And they just may very likely keep this going now because of that. So, yeah, that seemed like a very sloppy initiation there from Complexity, actually. And BMG just capitalized.
Yeah, they just kind of ran at them. I mean, it was Vindicator didn't even use his ulti again. I'm a little questioning why they're not. I don't know if they're not used to playing with it as a team and they're not used to calling out that he needs to ulti. But I mean, it's a 3-second what do we say? Well, yeah, level 1. It's a 3-second silence right now. So, I mean, that can make a pretty big difference in that fight. Fuzzy Sloth might have been able to get his ulti off, et cetera, et cetera. So. They need to be a little bit more vocal about that if they're not calling it out in Skype or whatever they're using.
Yeah, I was definitely picking up on that as well. And again, especially with the new final chapter, I forget what the old final chapter, what the cooldown was. I want to say it was at least like 150 seconds, if not longer.
I think it was, yeah, like 160.
Maybe even 160, yeah. But the point is, I mean, that's a lot longer. 110 seconds compared to that now. It's so you can use it maybe a little more liberally. Here, being that it's the lesser cooldown, now we see right there. Actually ends up using it as Magnus came in. That was a pretty good timing. Magnus is going to now try to walk away and be fine. I guess he did get the stun off, so it really didn't do a whole lot there in the end with that final chapter, but was reacting to possibly more happening, safe to say. Well, they got the kill on a Parasite, though, at least. But,
yeah, at least they got something.
But again, so now it's going to be on cooldown for another 80 seconds here. But yeah, so you can look to use it a little more actively.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations that you should be using it. So, I mean, like I said, that mid lane would have been a big, it could have been a big turn there. They had their ultimates up and everything, but they're going to look to try to get Fuzzy Sloth his portal keys, even in the jungle a little bit now. That'll be pretty big for him. He was so far ahead, and he's dropped off a lot. So they do need to finish his portal key, and even Oscar's getting close to his as well. Oh, but bot lane.
Doctor, is he in trouble? I mean,
I don't know if they're going to have the damage for it.
I don't think they're going to have the catch. Yeah, the cold shoulder, he tried, but Baltazar just a little too quick. He just simply did not have that catch right there to make the kill happen. So, good job reacting on the part of Baltazar. Makes the escape. Behemoth doesn't even have his portal key. Wow, I figured he would have had that portal key by now, but I guess he has kind of slowed down a little bit here when it comes to his farm. Man, this is a Behemoth that was upwards of almost 400 GPM. He's died a couple times, though. Maybe lost his farm a little bit as far as just actually farming in general, and ends up falling behind. And now what you got gets picked up here on that War Beast. So,
top lane.
Yep, they're going Magnus now. He doesn't have his eruption. He did stun in, however. Took the silence right there. Behemoth, though, going to help set up the turn. And you see Valkyrie realizing that the job is done, or their attempt is done, is actually going to get caught, though, by the avalanche right there. There's the cold shoulder. Oh, the Sage's lore, though, just out of range of Valkyrie. Yeah, he was pretty greedy right there, trying to pick up some farm.
Oh.
Nearly killed Tundra with the arrow. Wow.
Yeah, I was wondering if Formless didn't stand in front of those creeps there, he might have just died to the creeps. Creeps.
That was close.
Yeah, so there is the portal key finished on the Behemoth, and very close on this Tundra as well. And I believe Doctor did just finish his Nullstone.
It's coming out with something. There we go.
Yeah, so that'll keep him safe.
The rest of the team up here, meanwhile, I mean, Aluna. I guess the rest of the team, I mean, just Aluna's up here.
I guess he was trying to place a ward. Did he get one down? Yeah, he got one up there.
Yeah, but now I wonder.
That was spotted.
Yeah, it's like, again, whenever you see a support that far up, you gotta think that that's like the one reason they're up there. So, meanwhile, Vindicator, by the way, gets caught. He got caught farming, so that ward of sight already coming into play. Even if it does get countered, it's actually done its job already. It got them a kill on the Vindicator.
Yep.
Because of it.
Slowing down his farm heavily, and yeah, they're definitely gonna know it's there now if they didn't before. But yeah, I mean, they have portal keys now on Tundra Behemoth, and they need to make a play when this Behemoth ulti comes up. Either kill this Doctor, who's farming 500 gold per minute. Didn't even talk about that. They're doing a phenomenal job in the bot lane.
He's been quietly kind of doing his own thing as Belshazzar. I mentioned kind of peaked at that earlier over the 400 mark, and yeah, now even 500. Going that Nullstone we mentioned with Vindicator, it seems like it's probably a pretty good choice for him to have. Will nullify that Vindicator final chapter, who, by the way, did go the light brand route and is going to try to work off of that farm as the eventual Grimoire here. So, again, really intrigued to see how that kind of continues for Formless as this new Vindicator that we're seeing here for the first time in the competitive scene. But also another interesting item pickup coming. Look at Teltic, by the way, going kind of a little bit old school here. Looks like we're going to be seeing a Codex coming out.
Can't just be normal, Teltic, can ya?
Yeah, got to be different. I don't know. I miss the days of Codex personally.
Yeah, it's just it worked well with Lex. Without having Lex now, it's just I don't feel like it has that same potential that it once had. I mean, I guess this Hellborn team is kind of squishy in the earlier game, the Vindicator having only 800 HP, but I just really prefer to see this puzzle box, especially against the Behemoth. Oh, mid lane.
Yeah, Valkyrie gets caught right here. There's a final chapter as well, and they are going to get some good follow-up with Behemoth, who ends up securing the kill onto Aluna. It ends up being a double tap. You see Parasite here, but no, they cannot get there in time to stop Behemoth from TPing out. Ends up working out very well here for the Hellborn side. So Complexity, a couple of pretty necessary kills for them, kind of slowing things down of BMG, as they also get the top tower kill on top of that. So Vindicator, again, finding a little bit of room now. He's upwards of 360 GPM, and that Grimoire, it's definitely going to be pretty big for him. He's going to harass Teltic a little bit right there. So go back into the jungle, but actually needs to be careful, though, because look at Magnus. He's going around.
Yeah. He is into this as well.
They're going to set something up here. He does have the eruption as well. There we go. There's a stun. No eruption, though. You see Andromeda nearby. Now they expected the swap. Here comes Dr. Repulsor. Now he's choosing to stay on Andromeda. Is he even going to get anyone? He was silenced by the totem there as well. Finally, Magnus is able to get another stun off. There's the hiding in the steam bat. Doctor does fight in the Codex coming out from Parasite to secure the kill to Vindicator, but they dove really far right here for this. Dr. Repulsor, he is now out of mana. He's in a lot of trouble. The nice tub with the Lava Surge, though. It will help him get away. The piercing shards are going to be just out of range. Beautiful plays from Maki there to keep that going and eventually get the kill onto the Vindicator, and they got Andromeda.
Yeah, and the other big thing here is, is Fusen going to get caught here? His ulti? No.
Oh.
No, what I was going to bring up here is, this is kind of a different Aluna build. He actually maxed his Q on Aluna, and it just stunned all of them. And it was kind of the reason they all lived right there. So him kind of changing up, not maxing the power throw here, just made a really big play there.
Interesting, yeah. And then the level 4 Emerald Lightning here, or simply called the stun of Luna, so coming through right there. You do see the Hellflower in the works for Dr. Repulsor as well, so again, kind of the Nullstone. Not your typical first item pickup, but in this game, against a Vindicator, it does make sense. The Shrunken Head, in the meanwhile, being worked on by Warbeast. Trying to be finished on him. What you got just needs the pattern.
Is Parasite seen up here?
Oh, wow. No, I guess not.
I can't tell. It just seems so awkward because he's sticking out.
Like, barely, if anything. But, yeah, no, I think he actually is hidden. I don't think Andromeda actually does see him.
That's so weird. Yeah, I guess not. But if he happens to Aurora in that near direction, like right here on this creep wave, he's going to see him.
Yeah, he's going in. Oh, yeah, he definitely didn't see him. There we go. There's a face hug. Now he sees him.
Yeah.
He says hello. Good patience there from Teltic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Codex is working out now, so I guess he gets a kill on the support, and that creates a little bit more space. Doctor's actually very close to finishing his Hellflower now. Just needs one more Arcana.
Well, Codex, obviously the biggest benefit of Codex is it really enhances that out front burst. I know I'm stating the obvious there, but you look at this Hellborn team, and especially, you got this Vindicator here who, Steam Boots, but now just finished a Searing Light even. So he's pretty fragile here. He's just sitting at barely 1,000 life, and that's with Strength Steam Boots. If Parasite finds him, maybe not by himself technically, but you get a red power throw in there, a Doctor flying in especially. I mean, obviously they can set up some kills pretty easily on this Vindicator is the point. So
Yeah,
kind of goes back to that Codex logic perhaps.
You can see them, this Complexity team grouping up bottom. They're probably just hoping that Balthazar decides to TP down here and farm this, but yeah, he's top lane. He's not moving. He has no TP either, so they're not going to get anything out of all their heroes being down here.
See Behemoth, he's looking for a chance to maybe set something up with the team, but as you pointed out, it's just not going to happen right now. BMG is not really interested in going to the bottom area, whether it's because they actually saw them headed down there, or just simply not there for the time being. But instead, Valkyrie and Magnus will farm up the jungle a little bit more. Doctor's doing the Ancients meanwhile, so yeah, just not very interested in this bottom lane. Behemoth being as patient as he can with Tundra here. I mean, you got to figure with how long they're waiting, they better get something here. Yeah, they may get something.
They don't want it to be this Aluna of all heroes, so. But it's most likely going to be.
Look what she's doing here.
Just placed 3 revs.
Yeah, she's really checking for those ward of sights, and yeah, happens to be none there. So, I mean,
now
I guess
this Magnus kill will be a little different.
Oh yeah, here they go to react. There's that final chapter coming out as well. Luna can't do much in the time being because of it. Magnus will die, but here comes Dr. Repulsor now flying in. Swap from Andromeda immediately, but Valkyrie the big follow-up as well. Going to do what she can. They do get the kill onto Andromeda. The Shockwave whiffed completely. Double tap for Balthazar. The Shockwave missed right there. He tried to hit Doctor, but he flew away at the split second. Vindicator's obviously dead, but so is Valkyrie. Now Parasite comes back in to clean up on a Behemoth. Warby's so doing so much damage that Dr. Repulsor is eventually going to get him killed. It's just back and forth battle right here. It ends up being Parasite versus Warby's essentially, and Warby's just ports out. It's just both teams kept losing one after the other.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know who came out on top there, honestly.
Yeah, both mid players really didn't get full effectiveness of ultis there. So, I mean, Magnus didn't even get his ulti off, and Behemoth kind of ultied the ground. I mean, it was accidental. I mean, it's against the Doctor. You know, it is hard to get your ulti off on a Doctor flying around. But, yeah, I mean, both ultis were basically ineffective there, and I think that was a pretty big part of that. But I guess the big thing of all that is Warby stayed alive, and he can be the hard carry for his team, so.
Yeah.
And I mean, for the Legion team, I guess Parasite stayed alive, but I just hope he does not max this Codex. That's. I'm okay with level 1. You know what? It's got him a couple kills, so it's not terrible, but I just hope he goes either some team fight items, even goes the puzzle box now.
I mean, he's sitting on 2,200 gold, so you would think that if he wanted to level up the Codex, he probably would have at least done 1 level by now, if not 2. So, yeah, I believe he is definitely going to be changing it up now. But top lane Magnus, he is going to get the sun off in time and actually does react in time. So, the attempt there of Complexity to try to catch him comes up short. Maki a little too slippery. Well played on his part. You see Boxy making up some farm in the meantime in the middle lane. Currently with that quick blade. I wonder if that's actually going to be a nullfire blade here, or if he's going to like the firebrand.
Andros hit by a 5-second arrow.
Random arrow. Look at that. The quick kill as a result. Tundra's now in trouble. He's going to go down as well, but a big shockwave counter from Behemoth does set up a kill on a Dr. Repulsor. Final chapter used. Valkyrie's going to go down, and the turret is real for the Hellborn side. Parasite trying to pick up a kill in the background onto Vindicator. Magnus Eruption didn't really do a whole lot. He is able to stun in, though, and they will finish off Vindicator, but at what cost now? As Behemoth catches Magnus, and yep, the final auto attack does him in. But again, we're not done just yet. These two teams just back and forth slugfest right here. Behemoth is actually going to fall to Aluna, and then Aluna is going to TP out in the face of Warbeast. That was so well played by Fusen right there as a support, knowing he had to TP immediately after getting that final auto attack, and he did.
That was the exact same fight that just happened.
Yeah, it really was.
3 for 4. It's hard to tell who's coming up on top here, because I guess for the sake of the Legion team, I mean, both their carries are dying and Parasite's living. You know, not being like a Warbeast, that's a hard carry. So in kind of an odd, awkward way, it might be in favor of Hellborn, but it's not. It's awkward. Like, I don't I don't really know who's coming out ahead. I mean, obviously coming out ahead in kills is, a good thing for this Legion team, but, is that what really matters at this point? Oh, they want this War Beast.
Parasite's looking for something. He's going to find Andromeda, which is a sure kill. So, I'll gladly take that. Yeah, you do got to be a little careful the Helmo team, or the Legion side, excuse me, of BMG. Again, we did see that last fight using that arrow initiation. Andromeda is probably the the least likely target you want to be able to jump first, because as we saw right there, you give them a chance to respond. So just because they hit that arrow probably doesn't mean they should have committed as much as they did, but maybe a hindsight thing too. Parasite, by the way, he did actually start leveling up the Codex. He has level 3 now on the Codex, so I guess he actually is planning to max that out. And yeah, that is different. That's very different. Now, I will say, I really do want to stress that it does do a little bit more than just simply damage. It does decrease the cooldown. It does decrease mana cost. It does increase the range. So there are other benefits, but it's hard to argue 4,000 extra gold into an item is really worth it when that could be spent, obviously elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think it's level 3 now, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah.
Maybe level 3. Okay, yeah. So I mean, what is that? 6K gold invested in it right now. That's a maxed out puzzle box and an abyssal. So we'll have to see what the difference is going to be in these team fights. I mean, sure, he can instant pick off an Andro, but what does that really do? So it'll be interesting. It looks like another team fight could be happening soon. Shiver is scouting out right now. They're going to see the Doctor right here.
I don't know if they're going to go with it, though. They do got numbers kind of nearby. I mean, Warbeast is here, but he's not the easiest to catch. And yeah, it doesn't seem like they have the strongest right now to be able to make that catch happen. So it is a Nullifier Blade, by the way, on Valkyrie. And I was talking about that earlier before that last fight broke out. I think a lot of it may come down to him wanting to be able to remove silence with that Nullifier Blade. As well as, obviously Valkyrie is kind of a hero that definitely could just use it just naturally, but being able to remove silence is going to be a pretty solid ability for it.
Well, this is where that Codex... Whoa! But that's what I say, that's when the Codex might not come so in handy, but he did get out. But they have a Rev Ward right here. They're seeing all of this.
Well, so yeah, that's what I was going to say. They had a Rev Ward, but they also know that the backup's coming, so it's like they couldn't really go, and I think it's definitely the better decision of complexity here to just fall back altogether. And yeah, they will be fine. So yeah, that could have been a pretty deadly fight for them if they did try to follow up on a Parasite, as they did have that Rev Ward. So good decision on their part, I think. And we'll live to fight another day here, but again, the lead does suggest right now that BMG is in the better of the spots here. And Doctor is getting close to now a Shrunken Head, which, obviously will be able to remove that final chapter if it does manage to get through, on top of the Glyph of Silence and those effects. So it's going to prove to be useful for him. Vindicator, by the way, trying to finish his own Shrunken Head.
Yeah, decides to not go for that Ice Brand, and it's not a bad decision in this game. He's dead.
I like that. That was good timing.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting picked off around the map, I guess. I don't want to say this Codex is doing well, but sadly, it's happening and making plays. So, would I have liked to see the puzzle box more? Yes, but this is working, so I can't say too much else about it.
Again, I was going at it a little bit earlier, and Teltec, no doubt is known for doing some strange things, and sometimes it is just like, okay, where's the logic? At least Codex does have logic. It does have history on the hero. It is not that, it's not the Assassin Shroud. I think that we can kind of agree on that. At least it's not that, but yes, the more normalized build would have been the puzzle box. And it is hard to argue that that isn't the best, but, feels Codex was the better this time around, and as you pointed out, he is getting some kills with it, so that's to the benefit here. He's sitting on 3,700 gold, so I don't know if the plan is to level up to level 5 or if now he is going to go something else, but we will have to just wait and see with his decision here.
Yeah, and like I said, even if he just would have went level 1 and then moved on to other items, I would have been totally, for that. It did a lot at level 1. So, but I mean, now he's committed an extra 3K gold into it. Might as well throw the extra 2K into it and get a level 5 and then go from there. But or buy a portal key
Oh yeah, I got a portal key. Okay.
and max out that codex. Why not?
I don't think it would be maxed out yet. Then I'm probably level 4 here, but yeah, he is
Oh,
going to
yeah,
eventually
okay.
max it out at this
It
point.
will be maxed out in 400 gold.
Oh, he's got a way now to kind of jump in here and kind of burst somebody down. And you look at, I mean, really anyone here on the Cellborn side is going to be pretty vulnerable to that, other than maybe the War Beast. So, go back to, I mean, that's where it is, could prove to be a benefit here.
War Beast is going to have to be a pretty big factor this game. He's working on his basher here. Oh, top lane.
Yep, speaking of that, tried, but Behemoth happened to be nearby. Ends up catching him first, so.
Yeah. Try to do that without assistance.
Yeah, I don't even know if he had a red power throw coming in there, to be honest, so.
No.
Yeah, doing it by yourself still might
Yeah,
need a little bit of
definitely
help.
There was a red power throw that went mid a little bit earlier than that, so.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't even have the red throw. I mean, he has to be careful. I mean, if he keeps getting picked off slow, like this, it could, alter a couple things. And BMG just, I mean, they should want to force fights at this point. They should have, they shouldn't be afraid to force fights. They have the Shrunken on Doctor. They have a Storm Spirit on Make, on the Magnus. So, I mean, they have their items. They should want to commit to a fight pretty soon.
Well, let's see when that fight possibly does break out here. Arcana on Valkyrie, that is curious to see what he likes. That I guess it has to be really the Hellflower. Logically makes sense there. Magnus, by the way, getting picked off bottom lane, so picks kind of continue here. You do see that puzzle box on Tundra, hoping to do a little bit of work, and only level 1 right now, but good enough to assist there. Top lane, nope, just an Illusion Doctor. Brutalizer, I think, though, just finished on War Beast, is now coming out to him, so. Yeah, Vindicator just really continues to kind of struggle to, like, his GPM is not horrible, it's just he keeps dying at points where he's almost has the next item, and he's should have a Shrunken Head, though, before another fight does actually happen here. As he only needs a couple more creeps, and that will be big against this Legion team. You look at what they have, and obviously they got Valkyrie for physical, but everyone else is pretty heavy on the magic side here.
Yeah. I have to, there's a level 3 puzzle finished on the Tundra, and that's good. Obviously it's a good item on that hero in general, but against the Valkyrie ulti, it's going to be pretty good too. Especially if they spot it and they're all grouped up together.
Resto Stone on Behemoth, 2,600 gold saved up. He's got the Sustainer already, so
he's getting there.
Getting close to it. But more farm will be had here, and not that this hasn't been a pretty active game. I mean, it's 24 to 21 hero kills, so it's actually a fair amount, and now 34.5 minutes. But I guess his last 5 minutes or so have definitely been a little bit more of a passive state for both of these sides. And again, it goes back to when do we think the opportunities are going to arise to possibly make a move here. You got Dr. Repulsor as the Shrunken, the Nullstone, and the Hellfire here. Valkyrie Prism used, but I do think they were seen. Yeah, it looks like the Hellhound, if anything, might have seen that working. So, yeah, this is a really tough team. The Hellhounds, the Shiver, it's going to be very tough to actually get a useful Valkyrie Prism off if you're BMG. And we see that right there. They try, coming up short, and so they'll have to go elsewhere now.
Yep. This is going to be a pretty passive game now. It looks like both teams are kind of just going to wait for another item on their cores, and especially Fuzzy Sloth. I want to say 600 off from Resto Stone, I believe. So definitely very close, and Vindicator is dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he sure is. We got the kill on him at the bottom lane, so him and Andromeda, for that matter, falling right there. So obviously a couple of good opportunities for the Legion team, opening up some avenues here. There is the Resto Stone, as mentioned, on Fuzzy Sloth. Just finished, so it actually does have that now. But again, I mean, I personally have always felt a little uncertain about the impact of an actual Resto Stone on Behemoth. I know it definitely has potential. Yeah, you don't need to use it one after the other, but it does just seem a little like that's 5,200 gold on an item that I don't know. I just think like a sheepstick, like that gold spent to a sheepstick. You could argue could be better, or an Assassin's Shroud Rift Shards, of course.
It's well, you're always for that build, but at least for the Behemoth, not even just the shockwave damage. You have to remember it's also a 1.5 second stun on top of ulting again. So just in his ultis alone, he's stunning for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the combined of his Q if he can get his fissure off. I don't believe he actually has the full mana to ulti twice and double fissure with the resto stone. So, but I mean, even one fissure with the double ulti, I mean, was that like 6 seconds of lockdown by himself? Yeah, I mean. It's a lot of lockdown, so I am okay with the resto stone. Always, I am an advocate of it. So, have to go against you on that one, Breaky.
All right. Yeah, I know a lot of players do, and it's like, so I do understand. Again, I'm not suggesting it is bad. It's just I don't know, but
Valk ultied.
They're gonna try to use it right here again. I don't know if they're seeing actually. In fact, they're gonna get a good opening right here, and a Vindicator right off the bat. It should fall. Yep. He's not buying back, actually. That's a good start here for the Legion's side. They do lose Aluna in the process, but they also get Andromeda, so the advantage stays in favor of Bad Monkey Gaming. Shockwave coming up from him. There's a second one on top of that, so back-to-back. And Dr. Repulsor definitely felt that with Warbeast as well. He goes down. Behemoth is getting low, but he's definitely done his job, so look at this. Complexity actually turning it around completely. What you got picks up a hat trick. As Valkyrie, no, he's going to be stopped with the tablet here. And now Valkyrie all of a sudden in trouble. Almost got Behemoth killed, just coming up short though. And she too, I don't know. The Energizer, it's not going to happen. That's going to be a genocide for Complexity coming out of this fight. And I am shocked. I thought for sure BMG had that fight hands down. I mean, Vindicator has not done a whole lot here. It just, man, maybe it just doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it's the secondary carry and the Warbeast. And then, I mean, if you weren't sold on the Resto Stone right there, then anyone else that doesn't believe the Resto Stone, is the, it may not be the obvious choice, but right there, just completely locked down. I mean, what did Doctor do other than get the kill on Vindicator there? And they don't even need Vindicator at this point. That was without Vindy ulti as well. I mean, just think of the havoc that the Vindy ulti will be causing if you actually can get it off before a fight happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's got to be scary for BMG, knowing that final chapter was not even used, knowing that totem wasn't used throughout the disarm. I mean, because again, that's what Vindicator brings to the table. He's just a very annoying presence in these fights, and the fact that they couldn't even win a fight despite getting him killed right off the bat definitely has got to be some pretty scary news for Bad Monkey Gaming. So, and also at the same time, quite the momentum boost here for Complexity now. So more Velrot being used by Bad Monkey Gaming. They head towards the top lane now. They're going to look for another opportunity up here. I mean, they're just going to try to keep up that activity, knows that that's where their advantage perhaps lies here of getting these individual ganks. Now, I don't know if they're going to find anyone, though, at the top lane.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it, actually, so never mind there. Just simply farming and keeping it pushed up. But Complexity, obviously at the same time for their side, they want to make sure that they have those ultimates good to go. But, I mean, you look at it, and they pretty much do. 20 more seconds on the Resto Stone, and that'll be good. Oh, they're going to port, by the way, onto Dr. Repulsor right here, using that post-haste to port to the Hellhound. And they set up an easy kill, ultimately, onto Dr. Repulsor. What a catch right there.
Yeah. And now you're seeing the pick potential of all these heroes, and yeah, definitely good that they had the post haste and was able to catch that. And I mean, that's a big pick. Now Andro is most likely going to die here. Oh, he walked away. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to survive that, but obviously Complexity again, definitely in control right now. You got Dr. Repulsor, has 2,800 gold saved up. Of course, more than enough for a buyback here, but. See if that even opportunity does come up, but if they keep pushing, you got to figure that's going to, of course, be something to think about here. And it looks like Complexity may be doing it. I guess I don't see why not. I mean, Vindicator has the token for another 3 minutes here. Maybe at least force the Doctor to use that buyback, if anything. And
that is a double damage Warbeast about to hit a tower.
Jeez. Each auto attack, you just see the chunk of damage going off right there. I'm looking for the Doctor buyback here. Not being used just yet.
Yeah, he doesn't want to use it with only 15 seconds left, and I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to lose their axes.
There you go. They just give it up in the
Out.
end.
Oh, yeah, the whole game changed off that one team fight. That one pick they thought they had on Vindy, that would be an easy... it ended up being a 3v5 fight for the start of it, so that one fight. And, I mean, look what's happening right now. Just that one gigantic behemoth ulti with Warbeast beating on everyone.
That's complexity. Again, they're feeling good about the situation as well. Obviously, when it comes to later game, of course, Warbeast himself is definitely scary at that. And although we are somewhat newer to Vindicator still, this is the first game with the reworked Vindicator at least, we got to think he's just going to continue to be, or he will pick up on being more of a nuisance here as this game does progress. Again, he's not going to be maybe the hard carry, right-click carry necessarily, but he will be providing that ultimate, the totem, the disarm throughout the fights. That'll just be so difficult to deal with and annoying on top of that. So yeah, this Legion's side, and gotta think maybe a little bit of a windows closing here for their chances. I mean, I've seen this Arcana on Valkyrie for a while now. Trying to finish the Hellflower again, I would assume, is just about there actually, pending a buyback situation, but coming up to 43 minutes now.
Poor Fusen. Just literally placed that ward of sight maybe 3 seconds before Andrew walked by with a bound eye and countered it. So it does kind of suck a little bit there, but yeah, they're just going to group up and push this bottom lane now.
Yeah. They're going to just make a push here with the token still on Vindicator at about a minute remaining, so pretty good timing overall. A couple creep waves to work with right here. Hellflower is finished on Valkyrie, so he's all in on that. Magma stuns it with the Eruption. Only caught Warbeast, really. Doctor falls it up, but there's that final chapter. Now the totem's down. And look at Magnus. He's going to go down. You see Dr. Repulsor flying around. He is out of mana now, however, as he has to get back. Aluna, will barely get away with that aim, but never mind. He does die, so I thought he had a chance to get away.
Warbeast hit him once, and he lost 805 HP.
Yeah.
And a little cat scratch.
And now Magnus, again, he bought back, but he used his Eruption, came up short, really. Now the Silence actually going to hit him right off the bat, so again, he's forced to walk away. But this tower, it's definitely going to fall. Oop, that was a misclick. He shockwave nothing right there. And gives an opening a little bit for the Legion team to come in. Parasite tries to finish off Behemoth, but it wasn't enough damage. But he's playing a bit of a distraction here, if anything, kind of keeping them at bay. Meanwhile, Vindicator does go down, but she comes right back up and helps to kill Magnus there. Doctor does fly back in. Is trying to get a pick off on a Behemoth, but the stun hits, and he will go down, and I think the end may be near for BMG. There's 4,000 gold to Doctor. He does buy back, of course. Magma stuns back in. They actually do get the kill on Andromeda. Tundra and Behemoth low as well, or Warbeast even. So Warbeast goes down, and they are going to clean this up. A quad kill for Dr. Repulsor all of the sudden. And they actually save the melee racks on top of that. Wow, I thought we were going to be seeing GGs for a second. And it ends up being a quad kill and possibly now a genocide to complete it here.
I got into this.
What a rune.
Yep. So, Vindy just picked up a Resto Stone.
Really?
So there is that.
Okay. So he has that double ultimate now himself. Interesting.
So we said it was 3 seconds with 0 charges.
Yeah. So it's going to be 6 seconds total. Or depending on what the first one is, yeah.
Yeah, so at max it could be 8 seconds. I mean,
yeah,
that's decent. 8 seconds of an AOE silence. It's hard to argue with that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even really think of a Resto Stone on him, but it's a strong item on him as well.
Yeah, the couple times we actually did see Vindicator a little bit, I do remember seeing Resto Stone, once or twice at least, and that idea that it's kind of like the Chronos and a Chronos field. It's just such a strong ultimate. That such a strong teamfight ultimate that it really is a good argument to pick one up. So, and he isn't the actual one carry. It's not like a one carry lineup here. They got the Warbeast that's doing plenty of farm. In fact, he just got a Hellflower even.
Wow.
On top of everything, so interesting item to see on him there. But
yeah, I mean, it gives him the pure damage and gives him a little bit of attack speed, and also gives him a Hellflower if he can catch the Doctor. And kind of blow him up, or really anyone on another team. It's not bad to Hellflower any of them.
He's going to be joining the team down here, and see the Hellborn team, maybe they figure that was a little bit of a fluke. I mean, again, multiple buybacks were used there between Doctor, between Magnus now using his final one. So if they were to go again, they could probably feel pretty comfortable about actually breaking in. But they also may just want to wait for the third Kongor to come up here. Or would it be the second one, actually? Maybe I'm ahead of myself. It's going to be another Kongor kill, that's the point. Whether it's bananas or not.
It should. I think it's the second one.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because the Vindicator had that token the one time. That was it. So.
Yeah,
Will be second Kangor.
So no bananas just yet, but the token of life, more than enough reason to wait for that and then eventually push off of that, obviously. See Andromeda scouting out for some wards with that bound eye of hers. Doesn't find any, but that's because there aren't many on the map right now. Obviously, Fusion is having a very difficult time here to get some aggressive ward of sights out. You see the Frostfield plate onto Dr. Repulsor, by the way, so he's trying to deal with that War Beast any way he can. Tanking up a little bit.
He's still actually the top farmer, so a little interesting considering how this game's been going of recent. I think he's died in almost every team fight so far. So, yeah, but he's still the top farmer, so he's staying up there. Yeah. I guess the problem for this Legion team is the Vindicator can only get scarier. It doesn't have very much farm, and it can only get worse. So, yeah, Boxy just got his health flower at least, so I guess there's that. But, yeah, he's not farming anymore. It's really just on Balthazar to kind of... I mean, if he can catch this Behemoth before he gets his ulti off, I mean, it could be a little different, but they really need to catch BE or Tundra. Just one of those big ultis that's kind of stopping them in these fights.
Valkyrie definitely has, you can't forget her outright. I mean, she is going to be able to provide plenty as this game does progress on too, but yeah, will it be enough is kind of that, again, the big question mark here for them. She's only sitting on about 1,000 gold right now, and she has the Hellflower and the No Fire Blade, so it's going to be a little bit longer before she maybe has more of that big damage tool, something like, say, a Savage Mace here, or a Wingbow perhaps, if she feels more of the defensive route is necessary, but in the meantime, the map control just continues to be in favor of the Hellborn side, so that also goes back to maybe the lack of the best farm here amongst this Legion side. And the fact that Aluna's able to have that portal key is pretty impressive in itself, but maybe not enough in the end. 49 minutes into this game, speaking of that. It's Complexity in a very comfortable spot. Only a one hero kill lead of 33 to 32, but obviously that's one of many stats that are here. And Complexity looking strong across the board. Kongor is up. My guess would be that Kongor kill going to be attempted soon.
Yeah, and they're going to take it awfully fast with this War Beast. You just can walk in there and start hitting it.
Well, maybe. There's a Couriel. It's going to say hi. Start chipping away at it.
It does make Kongor attack incredibly slow. Oh, Valkyrie used right here.
Yeah, they're trying, but they're going to catch Magnus as he was running. And the final chapter comes out as well. And there's the Resto Sonius on top of that. There's the second one now used. And you just see the Legion team. They're not doing a whole lot. Dr. Repulsor is able to fly around, but it's just not going to matter. His teammates are being picked off around him. The Shockwave on top of him does catch him, and there's the vote to concede. GG, well played. Game one will go to Complexity here over Bad Monkey Gaming in this two-game series. So Complexity Gaming doing some work with this Vindicator pickup, new to the scene. Again, we weren't even aware that if it actually could even be picked up, but Complexity was, and they took it. So they gave it a shot, and the hero itself, it didn't necessarily have the greatest game, especially earlier on, but he's not a carry that really needs crazy right-click farm. They had a backup in War Beast who did fantastic. And as long as he can get that ultimate off, especially two of them, it's doing a lot of work, sure. So, but yeah, your final thoughts on that game number one, Groste?
Yeah, just interesting to see the new Vindicator, and I mean, I guess you saw the strength in that last team fight with the double ulti. I mean, BMG kind of just ran around. They couldn't use spells. They didn't have like a Dark Lady or something that didn't need, doesn't really need to get her spells off and to still be effective. So, yeah, but I think BMG did play really well that game. I think they kind of just that one turn, that team fight just kind of turned everything. So, I think they're going to put on another show this game or the second game, and it'll be interesting to watch.
It will be game number 2. Speaking of that, going to be coming up here, guys. So stay tuned. Complexity versus BMG. Especially knowing now that some of these newer heroes are actually available. So we'll see what game number 2 has in store for us here coming up just around the corner. But ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. Game number 2 coming up next here on Honcast.